I'm obviously happy that we scored 8 goals, but I want to put the game in a perspective again, like I did in the post-game interview on the field, that when I arrived here 3 years ago, a lot of people said that this team can't play when they're favorites. They need to be underdogs to perform. This team cannot break down parked buses when there's no space behind the back line and not play the running game. And we have spent a tremendous amount of time to try to develop that. We took some steps already in the World Cup. But I said to you when I summarized the World Cup analysis that the stats proven that we're one of the best teams in the world already to break the last line, getting in behind the back line, but we have improvement to do to break the first and second line. Stats also prove that we're really good at playing around teams and over team, but playing through, we need to get better. And I'm extremely impressed by only 2 training sessions and 2 video sessions that the players are able to play the way they do tonight. And just put it a little bit of perspective. When you ask center backs to stand on the mid stripe and put the foot on the ball and pause the game, and they have a really fast forward against them, and they know that if you get this possessed here, it's going to be a 1v1 counter-attack with 50 meters behind you. And to see the bravery from Claire and Alana, that's where it all starts. The reason why we play so good today is because we had 2 center backs that was that brave on the ball, that were able to open space behind lines. And the combination play you saw today, it's attacking-wise, this is the best team that we played, at least during my time with the team. You can say, well, it was a lower-ranked team. It doesn't matter about the team. Even if there was no team out there and we played 10-0, this is one of the best combination plays that you've seen this team play as long as I've been here. Last time we played them, it was 0-0 in halftime, and it took a corner to open them up. This time we opened it up in a completely different way. So I think it was a little bit of a crossroad moment for this team, to be honest, in terms of what we want to be about now, when we want to be a top team in the world and be able to play like favorites and be able to play parked buses. And we proved today that we have taken massive steps. But at the same time, the job is not done yet. We have one more game to go. We're going to take pictures from this one and then deliver in another game on Wednesday, hopefully.
I guess it's till it's done. Ben.
Tony, Caitlin Ford was outstanding today. 3 goals, I think 3 or 4 assists as well. She played on the, essentially towards the end of last year. She played left at the World Cup when she was needed to. How useful is it having someone like Caitlin Ford who can do both at a world-class ability?
Well, it's a bit of a challenge, to be honest, because how do you get most out of the players and where do you put them in different games? And I've always said, as a national team coach, the majority of all the development happens in clubs, and then you take them into national team. And my job is to get the right players in the right position with the right mindset. That's when you get the best out of them. And when Caitlin and Mary plays as a 10 and Caitlin as an 11, because of the relationship between Steph and Caitlin is so natural, and also Mary's and Sam's relationship. Mary's been phenomenal out wide with City. We tested that last game, and we felt that Steph and her find similar chemistry as Caitlin and Steph did. So we said, let's try it. And then, I had high hopes, but maybe not this high hopes. I mean, Caitlin was phenomenal. Was it 4 assists and 3 goals or something like that? It's maybe one of her better games.
Emma.
Would you say the first half is maybe the best you've seen in terms of a full half of football from your team?
Now, when I'm emotional, it's easy to say yes, but I can't picture another. Well, maybe Canada first game, but in a different way. Maybe not in the combination and attacking game, but tactically as an execution, I think the first half against Canada is up there as well. But attacking-wise, yeah, definitely one of the best halves.
Sorry. Yep.
Lewis once again, Tony, during a substitution, Courtney Byrne did come on for 10 minutes, but she did come up injured. Do we have an update on that?
Speculation, if I speculate, I think it's a soft tissue issue in her hamstring. They're assessing her now and going to assess her in the morning. It's too early to say if she's ruled out for the last game, but with my experience, I think there's very little chance that she will be ready for the last game on Wednesday.
Yep.
Tony, you said that was one of the best performances that you've seen since yourself. How do you get going for that next game and maybe better that now? How from a motivational point of view?
Well, you're onto something now. I actually said it straight away in the circle that they should be extremely proud about the performance, but also that they need to be extremely professional when it comes to recovery, because this is also rehearsal. If we want to go all the way to the Olympics, this is how tight the games will be in an Olympics. Only 48 hours to recover, and then another game comes up. So we need to be extremely professional. Physical and mental recovery is key now. And then I'm probably going to have some really in-depth and tough discussions with my tech staff of how we line up a team on Wednesday, because there's a lot of players that deserve to start that game.
Yep, down the back, Matt.
Tony, 59,000 here today is a record at Optus Stadium and a record for women's sport in general that is not the Olympics or World Cup in Australia. I mean, it seems like your team is doing records like this, you know, every sort of time they play at the moment. You know, how good is it to have that sort of phenomenon happening and to come and see in another city another massive crowd like that one today?
Well, from a personal level, I'm just extremely privileged to be a small part of something big like this. But then from the players' perspective, I'm extremely happy for them. And not just them, also all the Matilda alumni, all the things that they've done throughout the years to put the program to where it is now. So I'm extremely happy for a lot of people. But I'm also happy for the fans. Just imagine being in the stadium today and experience this together, you know, in that unity and from fans and players, and also that the players will manage to give them some goals and some entertainment.
Justin.
Tony, there was one shot of you on the big screen. You had a big smile on your face after one of the goals. How much did you just enjoy today, and how much did you let that sink in?
I actually allow myself to do that today, because we looked at each other as coaches as well. Yes, smile, because we put in a lot of work to make sure that this team is ready, but also brave enough to play the way they did today. Because we know it was a high-stake game in terms of pressure, and we put them in situations that could feel uncomfortable. And we said, let's be brave to play through them if we can. Let's be brave to move the ball, and the amount of give and go and third man run you see today, and some of the combinations to goals. It's like, this is the way that we always have wanted to play, but you need to take it one step at a time. And we're now into like the new. We had Olympics, a short term, maximize what we got to perform there. Then we had a 2-year preparation for the World Cup, and now we're into that new last part of that cycle into the Olympics, and to be able to do that in such short preparation time with the September camp cancelled and then 2 days training and play the way I really enjoyed it. So that's why I smiled, I think.
Final 3 questions over here, and then Emma and Joe.
Collector Silva, the Impress Women's Football. You mentioned prior to the game wanting to see the players retain the ball and retain it so quickly. How impressed were you with the relentlessness of the players off the ball? I mean, the pressing was phenomenal, and even at 5-0 and 7-0 up, you saw Samco going all the way out to the wings and pressing. And so how important is that for the team to go to the next level, especially considering that you have so little time coaching with the players?
Yeah. I'm really happy that you identify that, because it could easily be a bit complacent when you're 5-0 up. Just imagine yourself being out there, it's fun to play, right? Everyone wants the ball, get some touches, but then to be humble enough to always give it 100, and knowing also in the long run that it could affect the qualifiers and the February window. But the one thing that this team always give when they put on the jersey is 100%. Always, no matter what opponent is, no matter what the score is, they always give it 100%. But I also think that they've shown now that it's not just about the opponent, it's about ourselves. And if we want to compete for medals consistently moving forward, that's what it takes. Every single game. And I think we scored 3 goals after regains today, when we got this possessed and straight away regain and then counter the counter. So it also paid off in goals.
Joe, and then Emma.
Amy Sayer, we didn't see her for quite as long today, but she was well supported by Mary and Caitlin. What did you make of her performance, and could you also speak a little bit about what you see as her potential?
I could have seen her talk about her 2 goals, right? Look at those 2 chances that she had, how close she were with that header, both on the front post and the free kick. I think Amy, we identified her early. I actually brought Amy in my very, very first camp in April in Europe 2020. And we have followed her closely. Mel have done a phenomenal job in the U23 space with her. And I think this also proves how important that U23 space is to prepare players to come in here, because we can no longer use the senior Matildas as a development platform. It needs to happen in pathways so that they're ready when they come into us. And I think Mel and Amy and the U23 space have been massive in that sense. she has the physicality, she has the smartness and intelligence off the ball, and she has the character to commit and do what it takes to get better. And I think her going from amateur, so to speak, as a college player to be a pro in Kristianstad have helped her a lot. And she says it herself as well, to be in club now and be professional. But I still think we just seen a small part of her potential where she can end up. It's a very interesting player. I would have liked her to score today because I think she deserved it. I think she's been good and wouldn't be surprised if you get some playing time on Wednesday as well.
Final short and concise question. Emma?
Practical question. You were talking about squad rotation and you said to expect quite a bit of it over the course of these 3 matches. You sort of hinted about conversations with some players because they all want to play. Are we going to expect a different lineup against Taiwan?
I think you're going to expect a mixed lineup because I'm going to base that lineup off of performance. We choose to rotate and almost have like a 50-50 split the first 2 games. It's only Ellie that I backed up to 2 games, 2 starts here. So we're going to look at performance because players in form deserve to play. And I think it's important now that we have some competition from spots and send some messages to player that performance is paid off. The problem is that I have more than 10 starters now because there's more than 10 players that actually deserve to start. So that's going to be the conversation. How are we going to start the game? How are we going to finish the game? So even if a player might not start, they know that they are a plan of being a finisher instead of a starter. So it's up to me now to figure out how to get the most out of a squad over 90 minutes. Thank you. Thank you.